The space around Nexus Prime was busy. Hundreds of ships moved in neat lines, following invisible paths to the massive space station that served as the Galactic Council's main office. The station looked like a silver flower with 20 petals, each one a docking arm for different types of ships. Captain Vel stood at his control station, watching the screens. His gray scales caught the blue light from the displays. He was having a normal day. Checking ships, approving papers, sending messages. The usual work of running the busiest dock in the Empire. "Sir, all diplomatic ships are on schedule," said Officer Traz, his assistant. "The Jurgen ambassador will arrive in 10 minutes. Vel nodded. He was Jurgen too, and meeting one of his own kind was always nice in this mix of aliens. "Good. Make sure the welcome team is ready." That's when the alarm sounded. Vel's head snapped up. "What is that?" "Unknown ship, sir," said Traz, his fingers moving quickly over the control panel. "It just appeared at the edge of our space. It's heading for the diplomatic line." "Show me," ordered Vel. The main screen changed to show a ship unlike any Vel had seen before. It was dark gray with red markings on its side. It was shaped like a spear, with engines that glowed blue at the back. It was big too, at least a war cruiser class. "Run identification," said Vel, feeling a cold fear in his stomach. Traz tried. The computer made a negative sound. "No match in our system, sir, but there's writing on the hull. It says UNSC NVICTUS. UNSC. Vel repeated. "What species uses that code?" Another officer, Mira, looked up from her station. Her skin was blue and her eyes wide with shock. "Sir, I ran a deep search. UNSC stands for United Nations Space Command." "Nations? United?" Vel frowned. Then it hit him. "Wait. That's a human ship." The room went silent. Everyone knew about humans. They were the dangerous species from the small blue planet in a far corner of the galaxy. The ones who fought endless wars against their own kind. The ones who were supposed to be trapped in their own solar system for at least another 100 years. "Impossible," whispered Vel. "They can't have this technology yet." Mira shook her head. The Empire's reports said they were still using chemical rockets and had just reached their own moon. "Well, that report was wrong," said Traz, pointing at the screen. "Because that's definitely a human warship, and it's definitely heading straight for us." Vel took a deep breath. "Hail them. Now." A moment later, the screen changed to show a human face. The alien looked strange to Vel, with its flat features and fur on top of its head. It wore a dark uniform with small metal pieces on the shoulders. "This is Commander Jack Stone of the UNSC Invictus," said the human. Its voice was deep but clear. "Requesting permission to dock for the Galactic Trade Summit. We're here as Earth's representatives." Vel blinked several times. "Earth representatives? There must be some mistake. Humans are not invited to the summit." The human named Stone looked confused. "We received an official invitation 3 months ago. It came directly from the Emperor's office." "That's not possible," said Vel. But even as he said it, he wasn't sure. The Emperor did many things without telling everyone. "Hold your position while I check." Vel turned to Mira. "Contact the Council. Now." 10 minutes later, Vel was looking at the stern face of Council Head Or. The 8-limbed alien looked upset. "What do you mean, a human ship?" asked Or. "Humans don't have ships that can reach Nexus Prime." "Well, one is outside my station right now," said Vel. "And they say they have an invitation from the Emperor." Or was silent for a long moment. "Check the records. If they have an invitation, it will be in the system." Vel nodded to Traz, who began searching through the database. After a minute, Traz looked up with a shocked expression. "Sir, they're right. There is an invitation. Sent to Earth 92 days ago by the Emperor's personal secretary." Vel felt like the floor was moving under him. The Emperor had invited humans to the heart of the Empire. Without telling the Council. It made no sense. Council head Or, said Vel carefully. The humans do have an invitation. What should I do? Or's face showed a mix of anger and fear. Let them dock. Put them in the diplomatic section and double the guards. I'll be there in 2 hours. The screen went dark. Vel turned back to the waiting human. Commander Stone, you are cleared to dock at Arm 7. Please follow the guide ship that will meet you. Stone nodded. Thank you, Captain. We look forward to meeting the Council. As the screen went dark, Vel turned to his staff. Send a guide ship and alert security. Sir, said Mira quietly, why would the Emperor invite humans without telling anyone? Vel had no answer. An hour later, Vel watched as the human ship docked. It was even more impressive up close. The technology was advanced, far more than humans should have. As the docking bridge connected to the ship, Vel wondered what other surprises these humans had. The ship's door opened. A small group of humans walked out, 5 of them wearing formal clothes except for 2 in military uniforms. The one in front was a female, with dark hair tied back. Welcome to Nexus Prime, said Vel, trying to sound calm. I am Captain Vel, Dockmaster. The female human smiled and held out her hand. Vel knew this was a human greeting and carefully took her hand. Thank you, Captain, she said. I am Ambassador Maria Rivera of Earth. We are honored to finally join the galactic community. Vel nodded, but inside he was thinking, they act like they belong here. Like this is normal. The Council is preparing for your arrival, said Vel. Please follow me to your quarters. As they walked through the station, Vel noticed how every alien they passed stopped to stare at the humans. Word had spread fast. Humans were here, on a warship, at the Emperor's invitation. And no one knew why. Vel took them to the diplomatic wing and showed them their rooms. The Council will meet with you in 3 hours, he said. As he turned to leave, Commander Stone stopped him. Captain, just one question. Why is everyone so surprised to see us? Didn't the Emperor tell the Council we were coming? Vel looked at the human, wondering how much to say. In the end, he decided on the truth. No, Commander. No one knew. And humans aren't supposed to have ships like yours yet. The Empire has been watching Earth for centuries. Your technology is unexpected. Stone's face showed no surprise. I see. Well, thank you for your honesty, Captain. As Vel walked away, he couldn't shake the feeling that the humans had already known this, that they had come here fully aware they would cause shock. Back at his station, Vel looked at the human ship again. What was inside that ship? What other secrets did these humans have? And most importantly, why had the Emperor invited them without telling anyone? The Empire was about to find out. And Vel wasn't sure they would like the answer. The Council chamber was the grandest room on Nexus Prime Station. It was a perfect circle with a high ceiling that showed the stars above through clear glass. 24 seats formed a ring, one for each council member. In the center was a round table where guests stood. Ambassador Maria Rivera and Commander Jack Stone walked into this room together. 4 guards walked behind them. The room was full. All council seats were taken, which was rare. The humans had caused quite a stir. Council head Or sat in the largest chair. His 8 limbs were carefully arranged to show his rank. His skin was dark blue, and his 4 eyes watched the humans closely. Ambassador Rivera, Commander Stone, said Or. Welcome to Nexus Prime. I am Or, head of the Galactic Council. Maria stepped forward and bowed slightly. Thank you for your welcome. Earth is honored to finally join the galactic community. A murmur ran through the room. The humans spoke as if they were equals, not a primitive species barely out of their own solar system. Yes, about that, said Or, his voice cool. We were surprised by your arrival. Humans are not yet considered a spacefaring species by our records. Maria smiled. Perhaps your records need updating. We've been exploring our solar system for over a century now. Exploring is one thing, said a thin alien with green skin. Building warships capable of traveling between stars is quite another. Stone spoke up. The Invictus is a diplomatic vessel with standard defenses. Council member. Krell, said the green alien. Intelligence Director Krell. And that ship is no diplomatic vessel. Our scans show weapon systems far beyond what humans should possess. Should possess, Stone repeated, his voice still friendly, but with a hard edge. Who decides what technology a species should have? The room went quiet. It was a direct challenge to the Empire's authority. Orr cleared his throat. What Director Krull means is that we monitor the development of all species in the galaxy. It helps us decide when to make first contact. Yet here we are, said Maria, invited by the Emperor himself. Yes, said Orr slowly. That brings us to our main question. Why? Before Maria could answer, the main doors opened. A tall figure walked in. He wore a red uniform with gold trim. His face was long with gray fur and sharp teeth. Everyone in the room stood up quickly. Admiral Tavix, said Orr, sounding surprised. We weren't expecting you. Admiral Tavix nodded to the council. The Emperor sent me to welcome our human guests. He turned to Maria and Stone, looking at them with yellow eyes. Ambassador, Commander, I am Admiral Tavix, head of the Imperial Fleet. Maria bowed. Admiral, we are honored. The honor is mine, said Tavix. The Emperor has been watching Earth with great interest. Your species has shown remarkable adaptability. Director Krell stepped forward. Admiral, with respect, the Council has questions about this invitation. Humans are listed as a Class 3 species. They should be observed, not invited to trade summits. Tavix smiled, showing his sharp teeth. The Emperor has his reasons, Director. Reasons he will share during the summit tomorrow. Orr looked uncomfortable. We would appreciate knowing those reasons now, Admiral. All in good time, said Tavix. He turned back to the humans. For now, our guests need rest. Ambassador Rivera, Commander Stone, may I show you to the diplomatic reception? The other summit guests are eager to meet you. With that, Tavix led the humans out of the council chamber, leaving the council members looking at each other in confusion and worry. The diplomatic reception was held in a large hall with windows showing the stars outside. Hundreds of aliens from all parts of the Empire moved around, talking and eating strange foods. The humans stayed close together, watching everything with careful eyes. They're afraid of us, whispered Ben Roberts, the ship's security officer. He stood next to Stone, looking like a simple guard, but missing nothing. Stone nodded slightly. Not just afraid. Confused. They don't know why we're here. Do we? Asked Roberts. Stone watched Admiral Tavix talking to some important-looking aliens across the room. Not completely. The invitation was real, but there's more to this than a simple trade summit. Maria joined them, holding a drink with blue liquid. The other ambassadors are curious about Earth. They asked the strangest questions. One wanted to know if we still live in caves. Stone smiled. What did you tell them? That some of us do. As vacation homes. Maria's eyes twinkled. Commander, have you noticed the military presence here? For a diplomatic station, there are a lot of soldiers. Yes, said Stone. And they're watching us very closely. Roberts leaned in. Permission to explore the station, sir. Get a feel for the place. Stone thought for a moment, then nodded. Granted, but be careful. Don't go anywhere restricted. Roberts smiled. Of course not, sir. He slipped away into the crowd. Admiral Tavix approached them, holding a glass. Ambassador, Commander, are you enjoying the reception? Very much, said Maria. Though I notice not all council members are here. Ah, yes, said Tavix. The council is divided on many issues, including humans. Why is that? Admiral, asked Stone directly. Why does the Empire fear humans? Tavix looked surprised, then laughed. Direct, aren't you? I like that. He looked around. then lowered his voice. "The Empire has watched your kind for centuries. Your wars, your art, your strange mix of cruelty and kindness. You fight each other endlessly, yet unite against common threats. You build weapons of terrible power, then use that same technology to heal and create." He took a sip from his glass. "Most species in the galaxy follow predictable paths of development. Humans do not. You should have destroyed yourselves many times, yet here you are. And that warship of yours, it shouldn't exist. Not yet." "Is that why we're here?" asked Maria. "To explain ourselves." Tavix's yellow eyes gleamed. "No, Ambassador. You're here because the Empire needs something only humans can provide. But that is for the Emperor to explain." Across the room, Director Krell watched the humans talking to Admiral Tavix. His green face showed no emotion, but his hands were tight around his glass. "Those humans should not be here," he said quietly to another council member. "They are dangerous, unpredictable. The Emperor invited them," said the other alien. "Yes," said Krell, "and that worries me most of all." Meanwhile, far from the reception, Lieutenant Roberts moved silently through a quiet corridor. Despite Stone's orders, he was heading toward a restricted area. The human, Lieutenant Ben Roberts, moved quietly through the empty halls of Nexus Prime Station. His black uniform helped him blend with the shadows. Years of training on Earth had taught him how to move without being seen. The restricted section was ahead. 2 guards stood at the door, tall aliens with 4 arms and scaly skin. Roberts waited, watching their patterns. Every 20 minutes, 1 guard walked down the hall to check the other doors. When the guard left, Roberts made his move. He slipped past the remaining guard using a small device that created a brief sound down another hallway. As the guard turned to look, Roberts was already through the door. Inside was a large room filled with computers. The walls glowed with blue light from many screens. Roberts moved to the main computer and took out a small tool from his pocket. This was a device engineer Tom Rayleigh had made specially for this mission. All eyes turned to the 3 humans. "Their history shows remarkable skills in warfare," said the Emperor. "They have fought thousands of wars among themselves, developing creative ways to defeat enemies. Their adaptability is unmatched in the galaxy." Maria stood up. "Emperor Malox, may I speak?" The hologram looked down at her. "You may, Ambassador. We came here believing this was a trade summit, a chance for Earth to join the galactic community, not to fight in a war." The Emperor's 4 eyes blinked slowly. "The summit is real, Ambassador. But the threat is also real. We didn't just invite you to help us fight. We believe humans can win this war for us." Stone exchanged looks with Rayleigh. This explained a lot. At that moment, Roberts slipped into the hall and moved to Stone's side. He whispered something in the commander's ear. Stone's face darkened. "Emperor Malox," said Stone, standing up. "We need to discuss this further. Earth cannot commit to a war without understanding all sides of the conflict." "All sides," repeated the Emperor. "There are no sides, Commander. Only survival." "With respect," said Stone, "my security officer has just discovered some interesting files in your restricted database. Files about the Void Collective's origins." The Emperor's hologram flickered slightly. Admiral Tavix stood up quickly. "This is not the place for such discussions, Commander. Perhaps we should continue this privately." "I agree," said Stone. "Ambassador Rivera, Engineer Rayleigh, Lieutenant Roberts, let's return to the Invictus." As they left the hall, Rayleigh spoke quietly to Stone. "Commander, the station's power core uses the same technology as our dimensional rift experiments." "I know," said Stone. "Roberts found the files. Someone stole our technology 30 years ago. The question is, how?" Maria looked worried. "And the Void Collective? What did Roberts find about them?" Roberts glanced around to make sure no one was listening. "They're not what the Emperor claims. They're not some alien enemy. They're a rebellion made up of species the Empire has enslaved. Enslaved. Maria stopped walking. But the Empire presents itself as a peaceful union of worlds. For some worlds, yes, said Roberts. The species represented in the Council are the privileged few. Thousands of others are treated as resources to be used. Stone's face was grim. And now they want us to help them put down a rebellion of slaves. The humans looked at each other. What they had learned changed everything. The glorious Galactic Empire was built on the suffering of countless beings. And now, humans had to decide which side they were really on. Back on the UNSC Invictus, Commander Stone called an emergency meeting. The 4 humans sat around a table in the secure room at the center of the ship. No alien technology could listen to them here. What we've learned changes everything, said Stone. His face was serious as he looked at his team. We came here thinking we were joining a peaceful galactic community. Instead, we're being recruited as weapons in a civil war. Ambassador Maria nodded. And worse, we're being asked to help put down a rebellion of enslaved species. Engineer Riley spread out diagrams on the table. They showed the station's power core and Earth's dimensional rift technology side by side. The designs were almost identical. Someone took our early plans, said Riley. 30 years ago, Earth scientists were working on this technology in secret. The plans were stolen, but we never knew who did it. Now we know, said Roberts. The Empire has been watching us more closely than we thought. They didn't just observe from a distance. They've been stealing from us. Maria looked troubled. The question is, what do we do now? If we refuse to help the Empire, Earth could be seen as an enemy. And if we help them fight the Void Collective, we're helping oppressors crush those fighting for freedom, added Stone. The room was quiet as each human thought about this problem. They had come to Nexus Prime proud to represent Earth. Now they faced a moral choice that could affect their entire planet. We need more information, Roberts finally said. I only accessed part of the restricted files. There's more to learn about the Void Collective and why they're fighting now. Stone nodded. Agreed. Roberts, go back and. A loud alarm cut him off. Red lights flashed throughout the ship. What's happening? Asked Maria. Riley checked the ship's computer. Someone's trying to breach our docking seal. They're attempting to board us. Stone rushed to the bridge, the others following close behind. On the main screen, they could see armed soldiers outside their ship. The soldiers wore the green uniforms of Imperial security. Director Krell stood at the front, giving orders. Stone opened the communication channel. Director Krell, what is the meaning of this? Krell's green face appeared on the screen. Commander Stone, by order of the Galactic Council, we are seizing this vessel for inspection. Your technology is too dangerous to remain in human hands. This ship is Earth territory, said Maria, stepping forward. You have no right to board without permission. We have every right, replied Krell. Your species is classified as Level 3. You shouldn't have this technology. We need to study it to ensure it doesn't threaten the Empire. Stone's eyes narrowed. And if we refuse? Then you prove humans are the danger we always suspected, said Krell. You have 5 minutes to open your doors, or we will open them for you. The screen went dark. Can they break through our hull? Asked Maria. Riley shook his head. Not easily. But they could damage the ship enough to trap us here. Stone turned to his crew. Prepare for emergency departure. Roberts, man the weapons station. Don't fire unless I give the order. You're planning to break away from the station? Asked Maria. That could start a war between Earth and the Empire. I think Director Krell is planning that anyway, said Stone grimly. He wants our technology and will use force to get it. As the humans prepared to defend their ship, the main screen lit up again. This time, Admiral Tavix appeared. Commander Stone, stand down, he said. I'm ordering Director Krell to withdraw his forces. On the screen, they could see Tavix arrive at the docking bay. He confronted Krell, and after a heated argument, Krell's soldiers began to back away. Tavix turned back to the screen. "Commander, may I come aboard?" "Alone. We need to talk." Stone hesitated, then nodded. "Very well, Admiral. One person only." 10 minutes later, Admiral Tavix sat in the Invictus's meeting room. The 4 humans watched him carefully. "I apologize for Director Krell's actions," said Tavix. "He exceeded his authority." "Did he?" asked Stone. "Or was this a test to see how humans would react under pressure?" Tavix looked at Stone with newfound respect. "You are perceptive, Commander. Yes, Krell was testing you. And you passed. You showed restraint even when threatened." "We're not here to start conflicts," said Maria. "But we won't allow our ship to be seized either." Tavix nodded. "Understandable. Now, I believe you've discovered some uncomfortable truths about our empire." "You mean the enslaved species, the stolen technology, the fact that the Void Collective is actually a rebellion." Stone's voice was hard. "The empire has existed for 10,000 years, said Tavix. "Not all of its practices are admirable. But the Void Collective is more dangerous than you realize." He took out a small device and placed it on the table. It projected an image of a devastated planet. This was Corvus Prime, a peaceful world. The Void Collective didn't just fight the military there. They destroyed everything. 15 billion lives gone. The humans looked at the image in silence. "The rebels have become as cruel as their oppressors," continued Tavix. "Yes, they have reasons to hate the Empire. But their revenge threatens innocent worlds too." "Why are you telling us this?" asked Maria. Tavix stood up. "Because the Emperor lied to you. Humans weren't invited as allies but as test subjects. The Empire wanted to study human warfare before deciding whether to conquer Earth or destroy it entirely." The humans stared at him in shock. "They fear you," Tavix explained. "Humans accomplish in decades what takes other species centuries. Your adaptability terrifies them." "And you?" asked Stone. "What do you want, Admiral?" Tavix looked at each human in turn. "I want change. The Empire has grown corrupt. Many of us see it, but change must come without destroying everything we've built." "You want us to help reform the Empire," said Maria, "while also stopping the Void Collective." "Yes," said Tavix. "Starting tomorrow at the summit, the Emperor will ask you to commit Earth to the war. What you say will shake the future of both our peoples." After Tavix left, the humans gathered again. "Do we trust him?" asked Roberts. "Partially," replied Stone. "He told us the truth about the Emperor's plans for Earth, but he wants to use us for his own goals too." "So what do we do?" asked Rayleigh. "We're just 4 humans on one ship." Maria looked at her companions. "We do what humans have always done when faced with impossible choices. We find a third option." Late that night, as the others slept, Lieutenant Roberts received a strange message on his computer. It came through a frequency no one in the Empire should know about. The message was simple. "Humans, we are the Void. We must speak. Your kind understands slavery. You once abolished it. Help us do the same." The choice was becoming clearer and much harder. The final day of the summit arrived. The Great Hall was packed with representatives from every corner of the Empire. The air was tense. Everyone knew today would change the future of the galaxy. Commander Stone stood on the bridge of the UNSC Invictus, looking at the station through the main window. His mind was heavy with the weight of the choice before him. "Commander," said Lieutenant Roberts, approaching. "It's time." Stone nodded. "Is everyone ready?" "Yes, sir. Ambassador Rivera is prepared to speak. Engineer Riley has the data ready to present." And Roberts lowered his voice. "Our other guest is hidden in the secure room." That other guest had arrived secretly during the night. Only Lieutenant Roberts had met with them, a representative of the Void Collective named Only Light. The being was made of crystalline material that shifted colors as it spoke. Roberts had recorded the entire conversation. "Good," said Stone. Let's hope this works. The human delegation entered the summit hall last. All eyes turned to watch them. Ambassador Maria Rivera walked with confidence, her head high. Behind her came Commander Stone, Lieutenant Roberts, and Engineer Rayleigh. Emperor Malax's hologram appeared above the stage, larger than before. Today, the Emperor began. The Empire faces its greatest threat. The Void Collective continues to destroy our worlds. We must unite against this enemy. His four eyes turned to the humans. Earth has been invited to join our fight. Ambassador Rivera, what is humanity's answer? Maria stepped forward. Her voice was clear and strong. Emperor Malax, before Earth can answer, we must address some concerns. Murmurs ran through the crowd. This was not the eager agreement the Emperor had expected. What concerns, Ambassador? The Emperor's voice was cold. The truth about this conflict, said Maria. Lieutenant Roberts, please share what you've discovered. Roberts activated a small device. Images appeared in the air, the same restricted files he had found. They showed the true history of the Void Collective, how they had once been many different species, all enslaved by the Empire to mine resources from dangerous worlds. How they had evolved over centuries of harsh treatment, their bodies changing to survive in deadly environments. The Void Collective are not invaders, said Roberts. They are former slaves of the Empire, fighting for freedom. The hall erupted in shock. Many council members stood up, shouting denials. Director Krell moved toward the stage, his face twisted in anger. This is treason, he shouted. Guards, seize them. But Admiral Tavik stepped forward. Hold, he commanded. The guards stopped, confused by the conflicting orders. The Emperor's hologram flickered. These lies will not be tolerated. The humans have clearly allied with our enemy. Not lies, Emperor, said Stone, stepping forward. Truth. Engineer Rayleigh. Show them. Rayleigh activated another device. It projected images of Earth technology, the dimensional rift experiments that matched the station's power core. The Empire stole this technology from Earth 30 years ago, explained Rayleigh. You've been watching us, taking our innovations, while pretending we were too primitive to notice. The Emperor's hologram grew larger, his voice booming through the hall. Enough. Guards, take the humans to the detention level. They are enemies of the Empire. Imperial soldiers moved toward the humans. But before they could reach them, a new voice spoke. May I be heard? The voice seemed to come from everywhere at once. A hologram appeared beside the humans. It showed a crystalline being that shifted colors. Only Light, leader of the Void Collective. The humans have allowed me to speak, said Only Light. Something the Empire has never permitted. The Emperor's hologram seemed to shake with rage. How dare you appear in this hall, rebel? I dare because the truth must be known, replied Only Light. We fight because we must. The Empire harvests worlds and enslaves species. We were once like humans, curious, free. Now we seek only to exist without chains. The hall was completely silent now. Many of the alien representatives looked shocked. Others looked guilty, as if they had known these truths but ignored them. Ambassador Rivera stepped forward again. The Empire asked for humanity's answer. Here it is. We will not fight for oppressors, nor will we allow the slaughter of innocents. She turned to face the alien representatives. Earth proposes a third path. Peace talks between the Empire and the Void Collective, with Earth as the neutral mediator. Director Krell laughed. Peace talks. With rebels? Impossible. Why? Asked Commander Stone. Because it threatens your power, or because it's the right thing to do? Admiral Tavix moved to stand beside the humans. I support this proposal. The war has gone on too long. Too many have died on both sides. The Emperor's hologram seemed to grow smaller. Admiral Tavix, you betray me. No, Emperor, said Tavix. I serve the Empire, and the Empire needs peace, not endless war. Other council members began to stand. More joined Tavix and the humans. The balance was shifting. Director Krell saw his power slipping away. "Enough," he shouted. He pulled out a weapon and aimed it at Maria. "The humans die now." Lieutenant Roberts moved faster than anyone expected. He jumped in front of Maria as Krell fired, but the shot never reached them. A shield of blue energy appeared around the humans. Everyone turned to see Engineer Riley holding a small device. "Portable shield," he explained with a smile. "Just a little Earth technology." Director Krell fired again and again, but the shield held. Guards loyal to Admiral Tavix quickly surrounded Krell and took his weapon. The Emperor's hologram watched all this in silence. Finally, he spoke. "This summit is suspended. Admiral Tavix, bring the humans to the throne world. We will discuss their proposal." As the hologram faded, the hall erupted in conversation. The humans had changed everything in a single day. Back on the Invictus, the human team gathered on the bridge. "That went better than expected," said Roberts, touching the burn mark on his uniform, where Krell's shot had hit the shield. "It's just the beginning," said Maria. "The real work starts now." Stone looked out at the stars. "We came here thinking we were joining a peaceful community. Instead, we may end up creating one." "That's what humans do," said Riley with a smile. "We adapt. We solve problems." As the Invictus prepared to depart for the Emperor's throne world, alien ships throughout the system watched with new respect. The strange human warship that had appeared in the diplomatic line had changed the course of the Empire in a single day. The galaxy would never be the same again.